Welcome everybody to my channel. In today's video, I will show now how I edit this uh, beauty portrait from start to finish. So you will see all my process, my thought process, and how I go take attack this picture. So the first thing what I go do, I would like to look the picture, make I know the level of work and what I need to do. So the first thing I see is I need to whiten the eyes, okay? After I whiten the eyes, I will need to take care of all these pimples within the face. One thing where they create pimples and make them more visible and pronounced for images or portraits. Now the appearance of light and shadows, okay? So I also they check if I need to balance the skin color, but I think the skin color they all right. So the only thing I need to do is just make I feel clean the eyes, clear the pimples, and then probably a little bit of dodge and burn to highlight some parts. The model herself already did very beautiful. So straight into the points, I will use my eye and teeth technique or this action where they here, okay? So once I click on them, it will create that action. But if at all you don't know how to do them or what say I do because everything they inside action. To do this step, I think the first thing where you will do, not to first on this your background layer, just duplicate them by pressing Ctrl G. Then you will go to filter. Once you go filter, you go camera raw. Okay, now how to whiten the eyes now I want to show you now. Okay, so once you go camera raw, under color, okay, you go drop down the temperature. Okay, now you see the eyes, they bluish in a way, no be waiting to define. So you could just adjust the temperature until when you see say at least the color they very okay, it is nice. Then I go come down, okay, still on this, I go drop down on the saturation a bit. Then I go color mixer. I will use this one. They find which color they this eye area. Okay. I go pull down on the yellows. I go pull down on the reds. Okay. Just for me to get what I want to get for the eye. If you want, if you pull down all the colors, so just in case any other color they around the eyes, okay? Make I take back my saturation up a bit. So once I do this step, what I will do, simply I will come where they put light, okay? And I go increase the exposure a bit, okay? Just a tad bit. This is okay for me. Then I will click OK. Don't worry yourself, the picture they look very strange, okay? But we know say no be like this one. So what you will press now to press Alt on your keyboard. You go hold down Alt, that's ALT. Then you go press on this layer mask just to put a black mask over it. So black marks means hide the effect. White marks means to show the effect. So we put black marks to hide the effect of what we do inside Camera Raw. So the next thing, you go select your brush tool. Okay, select your brush tool. This one a mixer brush. So you go select your brush tool here. Okay, now the opacity na 100. The flow na 10. So opacity means transparency. Flow means the pressure. Okay. So if you put them 10 times 10 times 10 times or 10, you put them in 10 times, it will give you 100. Okay. So we just want 10% of them. Sometimes if you even take your flow to 100 and bring your transparency to 1 or 2, or if you make them 5. Okay. If you make them 5 and then just brush around the eye, make sure say the foreground color here now white, but me I will bring my opacity to 100 and I think I like my flow to 10. It works better for me. Okay, so I will just brush and clean around the eyes. Okay, so this method, why I like this method now, because say they take away the veins from the eye. They make the eye look like say you carry cotton wool put for person eye, come thing go come dey somehow. You know, you get some people the whiten eye no go look natural again. Okay, but I like this method because it dey retain the veins for the eye. It dey make everything dey natural. We just make the eyes white, okay, and then it go retain everything. Okay, so when I don't do like this, I go reduce the picture, make I check. It dey too bright. I go turn this back on. Then I go drop my opacity down and begin dey increase am small small until where I see say okay, I like am, and then it dey look more natural how e suppose be. No too white, okay, over white where you no go come know the thing again, and e dey very okay like this. Okay, so the next thing what I go do be say I want enhance this blue wey dey inside the eye. Okay, so I go come down to my adjustment layer. I go come to hue and saturation. Okay, I go select this blue wey dey the eye. Okay, now cyan color, and I go increase the saturation. Then I go come down to adjustment. I go click on curves. Okay, I go use this clipping marks. They clip the effect so that it go only dey on that place where I want. Then I go increase them. Okay, just gently like this. Once I do them, remember, black marks they hide effect, white marks they show the effect. So I go press Ctrl I. Okay, I go press Ctrl I. Then what I go do is say I go just brush around this eye like this with white brush. Make sure say the foreground color now white. Just click this button here, or you press X on your keyboard. Then you will do around this place like this. Just here. You see? Before and after. Before and after. I will group this one, Ctrl G. So I feel name any name way I want color. The next thing what I want to do, they say I want darken the areas where they black. So I will come to curves like this. I will drag the slider, go down here like this. Okay, just blacks, and then I will press Ctrl I. Okay, black to hide, white to reveal. Still with my brush tool, still the same setting. I go just darken this side. Okay, I go darken these areas around the eye. Just darken them. Okay. The reason why I would pay attention to this now because the eye now be the window to the soul. Now it gets so much to the portrait. It tells a lot of story. Okay. So I could just darken the areas where I know say they need to be dark around the eyes. So when you do this now, you see the difference. Add a little bit of punch to the eyes. Okay. When I don't do all of these things, I go group all of them together. Okay. Then I will create new stamp layer by pressing Ctrl, Shift, then E together. Ctrl or Command, Shift, E together. It will create, Ctrl Z, Command, Shift, Alt, E. Okay. Ctrl, Shift, Alt, E will create new stamp layer of everything where you don't do. So I fit delete this group, or I fit make them invisible. Whichever way, it no affect anything why they do. Okay. So all the effect I don't transfer and come this new layer. So the next thing why I go do, now to look at all these pimples. What I want to do, now to remove them. Okay. So I feel remove them using frequency separation. I feel remove them using the healing brush tool or the patch tool. But make we start with the healing, spot healing brush tool. So if you see my brush, you see say this circular. Okay, you see I'm say this circular. So what I do be say I change the settings of my brush. See this place, the angle I make am 45, the roundness I make am 60. This now because I want make it follow the direction of the skin, the way the skin dey flow. Okay, so that's why I don't want make it this circular. That's why I put on this setting. So if you change your own, if you leave on depending on the kind of results you get. So I'll just touch. Okay, touch, 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 touch. Okay, just do that. So I will speed up this process so that you no go spend so much time dey watch how to remove pimples, but you don already get the gist. Okay. All right, welcome back everybody. Now see say I don't clean the pimples come out for the face, and I think I like them at this level. Okay, I don't clean the pimples come out for the face. You fit see the before, okay, and this na the after. Okay, so the next thing what I go do, they say I want do frequency separation, and in that process I go try balance all this color around the lips, okay, where they around the mouth area. You see the colors for some places no blend, so I go try do all of that. Okay, I believe you sabi create a frequency separation by now. So me, I go use my action. But if at all you know sabi frequency separation, comment down in the comment section. And in another video, I will show you how to do frequency separation, or how me I dey do my own frequency separation from start to finish. So I go click on frequency separation 2. As you see, I get 3 different ones: frequency separation 2 and 3. They serve different purposes. Okay, so for this image, I will use frequency separation 2. I will change my radius to 6, and then I will press enter. Okay, so when I do like that, the next thing what I will do, I will choose my stamp. Okay, clone stamp tool. My clone stamp tool, this one na to help me balance the color. Now you will notice say my opacity they at 100 and the flow they at 3%. Okay, so I will click on this. I go use and take balance the colors around the lips. Okay, just gently anywhere where I know say the color no blend very well, I go just work on those places. So if at all you dey do this one, I think Wacom tablet could be very sweet, to help you achieve your process, work seamlessly, everything will go very smooth and very well. Okay, I'll just use and blend around the eyes, this area, so that they will get similar colors. Now I know they take anything out, I know they do any make it work. I don't know what's in that one measure, but okay, so just to blend those areas. So if you look, you see, say the colors in those areas, don't they blended, okay, don't they smooth. So what I go do, I go also come to the texture, okay, click on the texture, still with the stamp, okay, just to smoothen some part of the face, okay, maybe like say it gets small cro, okay, I'll just smoothen them like this. So if you follow this process, if you want to watch on to the end, fine. But if you don't want to watch on to the end, if you skip the video, okay, to the next point where I go begin use my mixer brush tool, take work on the image. Now you see as I dey click, okay, I know they bother myself so much because I don't separate the image into texture and colors. Okay, so now anything what they do on the texture, they affect the colors, and that now why you go see say the color, even though they use clone stamp tool, they affect any other place, because now texture now they work on, so they affect any other thing as regards to colors. Okay, except I come to colors, and when I dey work on the colors, they affect the texture. Okay, because frequency separation are just separating colors and texture. So when I don't do this kind of thing, I will go down to the neck region. Make una no forget the body side though. It is very, very important as well when you dey edit picture. Most times they always very concerned about the face. We go forget say the person gets body. So make una no forget say body e dey join this image. And it be like say I go also work on the armpit area a bit. And to do that one, I believe say if you don't guess right by now, say no be texture we go need, now color now we go need put for this area. So I go click on the tone, okay, click on the color, and then I go begin just brighten them a bit. Okay, just do this side a bit. Now the armpit don't get small color join up for body, those blacks don't come out. So now so I use frequency separation take address color. Now I will click on this tool, the mixer brush tool, okay, and then I will begin work on the color. Now if you notice, I know they blow my picture too big on the screen. The reason now because I want to see am fully how people go take look the image, especially because now phone we take they look most of this image, okay. So I'll just gently follow it with my brush. Okay, gently follow it. Now, if you notice, I dey adjust my brush, okay, depending on the area where I want to work on. I dey adjust my brush to follow suit, okay. No be say I just carry one big brush, the rub am on top the whole picture like say I dey rub cream or I dey rub powder. I dey adjust the brush. Silence one. So in areas like that, where I want the color speak out very well, I go increase my brush size. Okay. They get places where I go increase my brush size, and they get places where I no go increase the brush size. Okay. Yep. So we don't almost finish this part. Okay. I'll also look at the hand. Okay. And work on them as well. Okay. See, say the image don't they come out. Eh? I know say everybody gets their own system or how they do their own frequency separation. But this one, now my own method. Now wetin me I dey do take get the result way I dey get for my images. And I like them like that. So how you take they do your own, I go like know. Okay. So So one of the reasons we make I dey increase, reduce my brush because say I want follow the natural lighting pattern where the image get when I shoot them. Okay. Now I make I dey adjust my brush size, they adjust them depending on the area where they work so that I could still maintain the natural lighting pattern. Okay. So after I don't do this one, the next thing what I go do, okay, you see, this is the before, this is the after. Okay, you feel reduce opacity to see and increase them to the point where we say you like them. Okay, if I like them for here, it dey okay for me. It must not be 100%. Now the next thing what I want to do now dodge and burn. I get different method of doing dodge and burn, so I go use another style today. Okay, different from the one where I show now in my last video. So I will click on this my own dodge and burn here. Simply what I do now just to create a stamp layer. Okay, that stamp layer, remember, now Control Shift Alt and E. Now they create stamp layer. You go create a stamp layer of everything where you don't do. Then this Now black and white adjustment. Now I put over am. It go be like this. The reason why I put black and white adjustment now to help me see the dark sides and to see the areas of highlight. Okay, so I go click on this stamp layer. I change the blend mode to opacity. Okay, to luminosity rather. I change the blend mode to luminosity because na color or light I want work on, no be color. I no want make it touch the color or affect them. Okay, then I go use this tool here inside here. It's called dodge tool or burn tool. So the dodge tool I go use and dodge, and the burn tool I go use and burn areas. Okay, so for the burn tool now, you go work on the dark areas just like this. Small small, no overdo am o, and make sure say you take note of the range. I put am as shadow. Na shadows I dey work on. And the exposure level, if you look am, na just 1%. Okay? By default, if you dey use this tool, I think the percentage na about 50. So if you do am, e go make your picture black well well. You go begin fear say, na this one I do. No be so I see am for YouTube channel o. So take note of that. Make you no come go carry your own, leave am for 50, then begin say, I be like say this man do something wey me I no understand. So when I don do this one finish, I go select the dodge tool so as to work on the bright area. This nose dey bright already, so I no really need to do so much. Okay, I go burn the areas dodge the areas where I need to dodge. The areas of highlight. Okay, and take note, you can use more than one method for your dodge and burn. Okay, you can use more than one method. It's not cast on stone say na only one method you must use or na only one style you must use. If you fit use more than one to get the results wey you want get, use am. The important thing na say you get the result wey you dey find and your client dey satisfied with wetin you do. So do the one wey dey satisfactory to your client. So when I don't do this one like this, okay, I will also dodge the hands. Okay, then I go remove this one. Now you see you see how the image now can get some contour. If you drop down the opacity, I dey always like drop my opacity down. Okay, now my culture just 60 something, just all those changes made they small. I dey try hide my hand. Every good artist will try hide their hand. Okay, so that you don't take away from the original image. Okay, so the next thing what I go come do, okay, now to use another system of dodge and burn why I show now. I go come to my adjustment. That one what I do for that my last video. Click on curves. I go increase and go up like this. Okay, then I go double click or right click, okay, to choose blending options. Once this dialog box open, I go click on color overlay, make black cover the place. Make sure say blend clipped layer as group and transparency shape layer they checked. When you don't do them, you go click or hold down Alt on your keyboard. Separate the underlying layer to the end. Separate this one. Then you go begin drag this one. Come out your hand for Alt and begin drag this one. Okay? To the point where we say you see the image when it don't be like this. You dey see am, you dey see am, you dey see am, you dey see that spark, that glow for the image. Then you go press OK. Once you press OK, no fear, just turn off the visibility of this color overlay. Now you see the difference. You see that shine, that extra shine, as in just reduce the opacity small. Okay, that shine down there. Now watch what I go do again. As I tell you now, if you use more than one method to achieve the result where you dey go for, the simple thing why I go just do now, okay, now to create stamp layer, Control, Shift and Alt, then press E. Control, Shift and Alt, press E. go create stamp layer of everything wey you don do. Then I go just come here, I go click on soft light. Now still another way of dodge and burn I dey show now. Click on soft light, then hold down Alt on your keyboard and then create a black negative marks. Remember, black dey hide effect and white dey reveal am. Then I go select my brush tool. Okay, I go bring down the flow from 10 to 3. And I go just use am go around the edges of the image. The edges of the image. The hair. Around these areas here, the eyes. I hope so now they take note of these things why they do, and you they see how the effect they come up. The lips, these areas, then if I thought say you want even use and do burn, if you just use and burn the image, okay. Now that thing we could just give and that extra punch to your image. Okay, now if I click on this, you see just give am that extra punch to the image, and successfully we don't edit this picture from start to finish. Okay, so give a thumbs up, give a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much for following so far.